Hey guys, Joe here, back to the word. This video, my Baker Book House recent book buying haul. Just got back from a visit to Grand Rapids, Michigan, a short vacation I took with my family. Got some time at this amazing bookstore. I want to share with you what I got and also kind of give you a little bit of details about why I love this bookstore for you guys and encourage you to check it out in this video. Just kind of a cool video, different type of content. I love this bookstore. I've been there a few times. I also like Reformation Heritage Books, which is just 0.3 miles around the corner. Both of them located in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I love brick and mortar bookstores, specifically Christian brick and mortar bookstores. There aren't many in the United States. This is one of my favorites. It's up there on the list of things. It's like my wife's from Michigan. Whenever we're up there visiting family and we get over towards Grand Rapids to visit friends and the like, I make sure I get to this bookstore. So what we're going to do in this video, it's time stamped so you can hop ahead to the section that most interests you. But I'm going to walk through kind of a tour of why I love this bookstore, kind of its layout, the different sections. And as we hit those different sections, I'm going to share with you some of the books I got from my recent visit to Grand Rapids, Michigan, to Baker Book House, which is the bookstore that's kind of on the front end, kind of the bookstore public facing for Baker Publishing Group, which is a group of multiple imprints, including Baker Academic, Baker Books, Reveal, Brazos Press, I believe, as well. And then also they just acquired Lexham Press. And so got to visit while I was in Grand Rapids. Going to share with you what I got and talk you through this amazing bookstore that I love to visit when I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you have a favorite brick and mortar Christian bookstore, I would love to hear about it in the comments. So I know about Baker Book House, which is in Grand Rapids. I know about Reformation Heritage Books, an amazing bookstore in Grand Rapids, Michigan as well. While I've not been there, I am a Southern Baptist on staff at a Southern Baptist church member. The Lifeway store in Nashville, I believe they still have a brick and mortar main store near the Lifeway headquarters. So I'm sure that would be a really great one to visit. I've also been to the bookstore of Southern Seminary, the bookstore on the that's on the campus of the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. So I know about those four. Beyond those, would love to hear about great Christian bookstore recommendations in the comments below. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about Baker Book House. So I've already told you it is kind of the public-facing bookstore tied to Baker Publishing Group or Baker Books. They have some offices there at the store. I don't know what's exactly housed there. I know the warehouse is probably somewhere totally, completely different, probably some of the publishing offices and such, but a really great bookstore. So I'm going to put up the kind of a geographic overhead. You'll see, so here's the front of the store, put some photos up and images as I'm talking about these things. You enter through the side door. They have a decent amount of parking. Since the sections of this store are really what make it amazing. I got there when I was visiting this time, got 3 hours to kind of peruse the bookstore. And so as you enter the front, right to your right is the kids' book section. So really amazing. Lots of great book titles there. New, old, popular, really great kids section. As you make your way around the store, they have the beanery, which is kind of their coffee area. So you can get a coffee there. They have some kind of offices interspersed throughout the sections with professionals and staff that can help you if you have questions about that individual book section. And then you get into their major new section. So as you enter the main doors, right, kids section, left is the new arrivals, Christian living section, theological reference section, and the checkout counter. They also have a cool place where you can hang out and sit on the couch and check out a book. That's pretty cool as well. And then they have this kind of really great Bible area where you can get physical Bibles off the shelf, open them, see what they're like, and check out Bibles. That's one of the hardest things right now if you're looking for a Bible as a Christian, to actually get a Bible you can hold in your hand and see it and make an informed purchase is really difficult. They also have some other things for different Anglican and Catholic type of items in one section of the bookstore. And you have the Bibles for all types of different denominations. And then my favorite section, so right next to the Bible section, across kind of the middle aisle down the middle of the store, is the bargain section. So in that bargain section, let's put up a picture right now. They have bargain titles that are fiction from Baker Books and the different imprints from them. They have a nonfiction section kind of along the wall when I was there most recently. And they also have a slightly damaged section. And so these are massively discounted books. And this is something unique to Baker Bookhouse. I don't spend as much time in the new section whenever I go to the bookstore. They have good competitive prices, and I know a lot about those books. But these are where the bargains are. I go there really quickly and see if there's a Baker book that I want. Do they have it? Is it on massive sale? So first book I have to share with you guys that I got from this haul was from the damaged section right here. Commentary on the New Testament use of the Old Testament by G.K. Beale and D.A. Carson. This book is something I have had on my wish list for quite a few years. It retails for $75, and it's really hard to get it on discount. Massive reference work. Every single time the New Testament quotes the Old Testament, they have a detailed section about what that quote means theologically, reference-wise, context. It's a super helpful reference tool from Carson and G.K. Beale. And so I got this one, $75 book, just because the cover was slightly damaged, not even the binding, but the cover right here, which I've already taped up, for $15. So you can find in that damage section, $75 reference book on sale for $14.99. That's why if you're in Grand Rapids, you need to check out Baker Bookhouse, because you can only get stuff like this from Baker on discount there, because they dump stuff that gets slightly damaged or they have overstock of into this bargain section. So my next buy in this book haul did come from the bargain section as well, but not damaged. So this one right here, an exegetical commentary on Revelation from Grant R. Osborne. I've been looking for this one for a while. This is his commentary on the book of Revelation that was published with Baker way back in 2002. So it was published since then. It is a very popular commentary on Revelation. He holds to, as I remember, a dispensational premillennial eschatology view. And so it's one of the most popular and well sold commentaries on Revelation from that position, from Baker. That was part of the Baker Exegetical Commentary or New Testament Commentary series. It used to have a purple cover, so I'll put the cover up there. Then when Baker a few years ago released kind of new covers for their Baker Exegetical Commentary in the New Testament, they updated the cover on this one briefly, but they also asked Dr. Tom Schreiner to do a new release or a new entry for this one. So Dr. Osborne has been with the Lord, deceased since about, I think, 2018. There's no way he was going to update this for a new print run, kind of a new refresh of the series, since he is with the Lord. So Dr. Schreiner wrote this really good, commentary on Revelation that I hope to get at some point. But this commentary and Dr. Schreiner's are both about $55 to $65 books, depending on where you find them, and they don't go on sale often. So I found this one kind of in the overstock category for Baker Books for $29.99, so just about half price, just because it's overstock. So they put this little mark on the bottom at Baker Books to sign it to overstock. What's unique about this is the interior of his Baker Exegetical Commentary on the New Testament. So what they did is they put Dr. Schreiner's new entry in the series as the Revelation commentary that's in the series, and they recently printed this one with this new different cover. So I'll put the cover up of the one it used to have, and then they just printed it with this new cover to keep it in publication as a commentary but they removed it from the series. So I'm really thankful they're going to continue publishing it like this because it's one of their best-selling commentaries on Revelation for Baker, but they've removed it from the series, but it's treated very much like the series and has the exact same interior content. So anyone who's quoted Osborne, either the first edition in purple from 2002, or even that brief 2 or 3 year segment where it was in the new series and then was removed to be replaced by Dr. Schreiner's, they're still keeping it in print, and I'm excited to have this commentary on Revelation in my library, and also hope to get Dr. Schreiner's real soon as well. My next read that I picked up from my time there, 3 hours perusing the bookstore, right here was on my wish list. $14.99. This book is usually $26 to $30, sometimes $32. Biblical Reasoning, Christological and Trinitarian Rules for Exegesis by Jameson and Whitman. You see the mark on the bottom. It was in the overstock section. Really great book here on rules for hermeneutic exegesis and Trinitarian rules for exegesis. So really looking forward to getting into this book. I've heard great things about this book. Something I did before I went to the bookstore is I checked my christianbook.com wish list, which is where I kind of put books that people recommend on podcasts. I hear from people that they want, or I see that I want. I add them to my Christian book wish list. Sometimes I buy directly from the publisher. And then when I'm going to a bookstore like this, so Baker Bookhouse, I look through that list, I pare it down, I get rid of ones that I don't need. If something's been recommended multiple times, like this one right here, I go look for it, especially and see if I can find it in the bargain section or in the used book section, which I'll talk about here in a second. Also from the bargain section right here, the Augustine Way, $12. This is the hardback edition, so $26 to $30 book right here for $12 even, from Chatraw and Allen. This is a book recommended by multiple people, including Gavin Ortlund and some others. It's about how Augustine is retrieving a vision for the church apologetic witness in the world today. So how do we defend the faith, and how did Augustine do that through his writings, ultimately through City of God and some other works as well. So really looking forward to reading this. Was really excited to find it in the bargain section, and this has come highly recommended in the last few years since its release from some people I know online, podcasts, and various things, and so I was glad to grab it. So once I was done in the bargain section, so we covered kids section, new section, they have a place for you to get coffee in the beanery, they have the bargain section with fiction, nonfiction, and then those books that are slightly damaged. So both of those other ones in the bargain section are overstock, or things they just had too much of, or for various reasons are trying to liquidate and get rid of. The reason you go to Baker Bookhouse, their used section is massive. So I'm going to put up a map. They do move some shelves around from time to time from what you're seeing on the screen right now, but they have a massive used book section, most of them by author's last name. They have set collections, they have fiction, they have new arrivals, they have commentaries, hymnals, biographies, biblical theology section, studies, word studies. All of those sections are in this used section. So if you go to your local bookstore, even if they have a Christian book section and it's used, there is a good chance you're not going to be able to find the gold that is at Baker Bookhouse. So the next couple of volumes, all of the volumes that are left in this bag that I bought from Baker Bookhouse for my visit, all came from the used section. So I'm going to go ahead and walk through them with you guys. So first up, this was gold, and I was so excited to find this, is this book right here, Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, 1859 to 2009, written by Gregory A. Wills. This book has been on my wish list for over a year. I heard that it was recommended. It's printed by Oxford University Press. This book is, I think, in print still today, and it is in paperback edition, and it's still like $35 to $45 if you buy it brand new. You can get some used editions for cheaper, $25, $30. But this one right here is the hardback edition, So not really in print today, really difficult to get. And it was in the used section of Reed Baker Books. I was just checking the price again, $12. $12. So this one I've heard recommended by Southern Seminary. I believe there are classes at Southern where they make you read this for the history of their institution. I was interested in getting this, reading about the history of the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary as someone who's interested in church history. I've been planning to get this book potentially and was going to buy it from Southern the next time I was at their bookstore visiting them. Really thankful Reed Baker Books had a used edition hardback for $12. I was also stirred up to get to read this book once again. It came back to the top of my list of something I wanted to read real soon because of the recent biography I read from Crossway on Capitol Hill Baptist Church. So A Light on a Hill, that book that I did and I reviewed on my channel. It brought up the fact that he said in the introduction to that, I'm forgetting the author right now at the moment, but he said I wanted to follow what Dr. Wills had done in this book. And so I was like, that just reinforces the fact that I want to go find this book. And so there it was on the shelf in the W's, Wills, and I'm excited to dig into this book and read it. And it was a really great price for that book specifically. So some other books in here that were part of the used section is this one right here from Dr. Wellum. Part of the 5 sola series from Zondervan was Christ Alone, the uniqueness of Jesus as Saviors, what the Reformers taught and why it still matters, specifically around Christology and the doctrine of Christ. So I have Dr. Schreiner's entry, Faith Alone. I have Dr. Barrett's entry, Scripture Alone. And this is one of the entries that I did not have and I wanted to get. And they had a really great edition for only $10 used from the Baker Bookhouse section of the store. So I was going to take advantage of that and pick it up. Another book that I picked up, it's been on the wish list for quite a while, was Paul E. Miller's A Praying Life. I have his book, A Praying Church, that he did with Crossway recently and released. I've reviewed it on this channel, but I wanted to pick up this one. So that's on the life of doing prayer in the life of the church. This is the prayer in the life of the individual. So A Praying Life, Connecting with God in a Distracting World by Paul E. Miller. One of the most talked about books when it comes to prayer and prayer life in general. So I'm excited to read this and pick it up. It was by Nav Press. And then what was the price on this one? Only $7 for a really great edition right here of Paul Miller's A Praying Life. And then I did pick up this book right here. Whoops, bag's knocking over here. Gotta get rid of that. I picked up this book right here. Life on Mission, Joining the Everyday Mission of God. This is a callback to my time in high school and college / young adults when I was a college and young adults. My youth pastor at the time, and then he became the young adult pastor right about the time I promoted to that ministry, used to buy really great books, popular level books, very popular, R.C. Sproul, The Holiness of God, J.I. Packer, Knowing God, those types of really good timeless theology books that lots of people recommend, as well as books that are recent and kind of popular lay level that were really solid theologically on different issues. He bought this one, I think right after it came out, and offered it to those, I think I was in high school at the time, and he would have this table of books, and he would say, pick up a book if it interests you and you'll read it. So he said, it's free to you if you will read it. I remember picking up this book. It was one of the first books that really taught me how I am a disciple of Jesus first. And I am supposed to enter every day with a journey with God, seeking how I can be used for his mission to proclaim the gospel, be used to advance his kingdom in the world. And so I have my edition that was all with highlighter all over it. At some point when I relocated to Ohio, first for college at Cedarville University, and then ultimately because of the church I work at today and some employment type of stuff, I ended up losing my copy. I do not know where it is. Maybe it will turn up one day. But I saw this on the shelf at Reed Baker Bookhouse, and I just really wanted to pick it up. And I knew it was a great resource. I enjoyed it in the past, and I hope to read through it again in the near future. So it's by Willis and Aaron Coe, and it's published by Moody Publishers. Publication date in the front, let's see if I can find it real quick, is 2014. And yep, $7 right here for this really excellent book that was done also with the North American Mission Board, or Send North America, and Moody Publishers, kind of joint project right there, forward by David Platt. So I would have been young adult, just going to college when I got my hands on that book, and it really changed my life. So last book I picked up, used book section, once again from Baker Bookhouse, Confessing the Faith right here by Chad Van Dixhorn, Banner of Truth. This sadly does not have the dust cover on it, but what this book is, Confessing the Faith, is a reader's guide to the Westminster Confession of Faith. And so this is a really great guide to the Westminster Confession of Faith, what it says, and kind of a commentary. Let me flip over here. Yes. Yeah, it's a reader's guide. So it's not like a full commentary, but it is a reader's guide simplifying things for the Westminster Confession of Faith. It has this really cool thing where he talks about, one side has the historic text and then the modern version. So this is a very popular book from Banner of Truth. Really good edition. It has a note in the very front that it was, they put this note on the very front. So it was $20. This is like a $30-ish, $33 book from Banner of Truth still today. And so they have at the beginning, they talk about, it has some edge wear, and they check different things, and you can see, I know the person who owned this before me used it for a men's Bible study or a men's group, but I don't care that much. There's a few lines in here. I'm going to read this, mark it up, and use it in the future in a similar way. And so I was like, dust cover or not, picking up a book for $20 when it's usually 33 or more, that's something I can do, and I'm fine with it not having a dust cover. So with that, here's the full stack right over here. So I'll hold these up for you guys. Kind of really exciting. This whole stack of books right here, I mean, this cost me like $135 from Reed Baker Books, and it would have cost me way more. I mean, the bottom one was $15, and it was retail for $74 normally. This one was $60, and it was on sale for $30, and you just go up from there. My book bill would have been massive to buy these new, but just 3 hours at Reed Baker Books, and look at these amazing books right here. So with that, I do want to recommend, for those of you who may be watching this and wonder, like, dude, that's really great, you got all those books, but how can I build my library on a budget? I have a really cool video for you that I did quite a few years ago that I have found to be very helpful, even for me personally. I talked through some of my methods for book buying, that I budget ahead of time for what I'm going to buy, and those sorts of things, and I know exactly what I want. And so I have a video I did on my channel, tips for building a library on a budget. There's the thumbnail right there. I'll also cue the card in the top. I'll put the link to that video in the description of this one. So with that, that's really all I've got for you guys. If you have other comments, bookstores just like Baker Bookhouse that you love, that have Christian books, would love to learn about them in the comments. So just comment your favorite brick and mortar Christian bookstore in the comments below, or maybe your favorite place to buy Christian books. I would love to hear where you buy your books personally from. I'm ready to get after reading some of these guys that I just got, as well as other ones in my library. So until next time, continue to read, treasure, follow the word. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon.